Okay, let's talk about vaping. It's everywhere, right? But there's a conversation about it that's been happening in a whisper, if at all. Today, we're going to turn up the volume on one of its most personal side effects, one that hits at something pretty fundamental to our health and our relationships. I mean, you can't go anywhere without seeing someone vaping. It has absolutely exploded, especially with young people. And yeah, we hear a ton about lungs and addiction, but there's this other major side effect that's flying completely under the radar. So what is it? What's the one thing nobody seems to be talking about? Well, here it is, straight up. It's the impact on your sexual health and vitality. For all the buzz and hype around vaping, there's let's call it a soft reality that comes with it. And it's time we talked about it. So you might be thinking, what's actually causing this? Is it the flavors, the vapor? Nope. The real culprit here is the one ingredient that connects most vapes to traditional cigarettes, nicotine. And this right here is where the science gets really fascinating. To really get what's going on in your body, you just need to understand this one key term, vasoconstrictor. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It just means something that tightens up your blood vessels. And guess what? Nicotine is a super powerful one. So why on earth does that matter? The whole process is actually incredibly simple, and it happens instantly. The moment you inhale nicotine, it sends a signal to blood vessels all over your body to literally squeeze shut. And when those pathways get narrower, well, you get less blood flow everywhere. It's a direct cause and effect. You know what? Here's the absolute best way to picture it. Imagine a garden hose with water flowing through it, nice and easy. Nicotine is like someone stepping on that hose or pinching it. All of a sudden, way less water can get through to the other side. That is exactly what's happening inside your body's plumbing. Okay, so the science is crystal clear, right? Nicotine pinches the hose. But what does that actually feel like? What are the real-world physical consequences when that hose is supposed to be delivering blood to, really important areas? And listen, this is not just a guy thing. For men, the connection is pretty obvious. You need good blood flow for an erection. If you restrict that flow, you're looking at a primary textbook cause of erectional dysfunction. But for women, the exact same principle applies. Reduced blood flow to the genitals can seriously impact physical arousal and even your overall desire. It's a universal issue. We hear about the effects on men all the time, but the impact on women is just as real and, honestly, almost totally overlooked. So what does the data actually say? For the millions of young women who vape, just how big of a deal is this? 32%. That's it. Just let that number sit there for a second. We're talking about nearly 1 out of every 3. And here's what that number means. According to the source material, almost a third of young women who vape report a lack of sexual desire. This isn't just a random feeling. This statistic points right back to that physical mechanism we've been talking about, that pinched garden hose effect from the nicotine. All right, let's pull all these threads together now. What's the big takeaway here? When you strip everything else away, it all boils down to a very, very clear choice based on a simple physiological fact. So here's the bottom line. Nicotine is a powerful vasoconstrictor. That's not a scare tactic. It's just a biological fact. It reduces blood flow everywhere in your body. And that reduced flow has a direct, documented impact on sexual function and desire for everybody. It's a simple, undeniable chemical cause and effect. And all of this leaves us with one last question to think about. When you understand the direct biological link between that puff of nicotine and your own sexual vitality, it kind of puts the whole thing in a new light, doesn't it? It really forces you to ask, is that temporary buzz really worth the long-term bust?